Here the damage seems not so great.
It appears Nilfgaard's not yet turned its forces towards the capital. We're likely to encounter no more than pathfinders and foragers.
So I hope.
The Nilfgaardian invasion necessitated certain steps. Niamh had dispatched scrolls to her garrison commanders, based upon which they were to announce general musters. She'd hoped that by the time she reached Crydam, fresh recruits would be waiting to join her growing force. Alas, the commander of this fort, one Sergeant Griggs, had only bad news.
Your Majesty, I've not the numbers to man the walls even. The call to arms brings few new recruits.
They don't believe in victory?
The Queen rose from behind the table, toppling her chair.
Then let them hear how I smashed the Blackclads at Dravograd.
Quick as can be, the commander gathered all Crydam's inhabitants in the central square. Niamh stepped out in front of the crowd and recounted her most recent victory. The folk of Crydam listened with bated breath.
And so, we must stand together. Fight, arm in arm. Be a wall against which black-clad hordes will be...
The townsfolk responded with thunderous applause, yet enthusiasm is rarely long-lived. That born of Niamh's fiery words had dispersed after but a few days. No new volunteers joined the garrison, and the townsfolk hid from Sergeant Griggs to a...
No will to fight amongst the common folk. No will, no spirit at all.
A contract on a monster. Interesting.
One vote's all I need.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf I am. I only loot corpses. Except sometimes they're quite fresh. Use this. Not sure what.
Give me a time. Give me a time.
Company! Forward march!
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Oh, I'd be ashamed to let this beauty go waste.
I only loot corpses. Except sometimes they're quite fresh.
Arbalist at your command.
As Meave and company traversed the ruddy meadows, strident voices reached their ears.
I beg your pardon. I've heard enough. A duel. I challenge you to a duel.
A duel? Nonsense. I'd sooner lay you across my lap and give your ass a thorough flailing, you scoundrel.
The Queen approached the arguing parties. two nobles, Lords Cartwright and Mansfield. Quickly she ascertained they were up in arms over ownership of an orchard lying between their estates. Upon spotting Meave, the lords lowered their voices, bowed and presented themselves. Yet they could not keep their ire fettered long, and were soon casting aspersions again.
Your Grace, Mansfield has seized it. No, stolen my land. Land that has been in my family for generations.
It is my recompense for your reckless deeds. To burn down me mill in Furchin for a bit of sawdust in your flour? Well, I never.
A bit? Oh, let me at him. Farman's taken ill, cook's feverish, all from that manure. You are a fraud, sir.
Though she faced the not at all trifling matter of the Nilfgaardian invasion, Meave agreed to settle the dispute. Reynard, who knew the history of every Lyrian and Rivian family 7 generations back, served as her advisor.
No doubt I would find for the Cartwrights. They are in the right here, as regards the title to the land. Yet your Grace must consider, the Mansfields have ever served the crown and never delayed payment of tribute. Whereas the Cartwrights are litigious charlatans who owe the royal treasury thousands.
The orchard must go to the vassal unburdened by debt. This is what I prefer.
Said Meave.
Thus I declare it Mansfield's.
But the law clearly says...
I am the law, Cartwright.
Lord Cartwright moved to debate the matter further, but a snort from Reynard reminded him he stood before his liege. Mansfield, content, made an ample contribution to bolster Meave's force and the rest.
So you see, my dear Cartwright, justice has been served.
On their way to the capital, Meave and company happened one fine day upon a lone rider. Had I been at her side, I would immediately have recognized his passionate gaze and altogether...
Identify yourself, sir, and your...
Ake of Denel, I am dubbed. And my design, The good book says the world is a garden which the gods once conferred upon man. And we men have this garden neglected. In consequence, all manner of filth has made its lair here. Drowner, I have sworn ne'er to rest until the day when, with the gods' help, I have rid the world of these beasts and pests. I wander all lands, seeking out evil and facing it in...
Who do we spy? A knight?
Just as likely a madman. How goes your hunt?
Monster. Too fair a term by far. An exceptionally vile worm has made its lair in nearby caverns. It is said to be the very distillation of filth. A slither in its head, that of a wild cat of Ophir. Its maw full of spiked teeth. The wings of a bat it is said to have. The tail of a scorpion, and from it...
Perhaps it will be most prudent, then, to send for a witcher.
A witcher? Soulless automatons they are, all. Feeding on common folks' fears. What they demand gold to do, I perform without demand of any cut.
Sir Ake, far be it from me to discourage you. Your endeavor is noble, no doubt. But from what I have heard...
To defeat this filth alone could be a difficult task, I'll not deny. Yet try it I must. For it is what I have...
We shall help you find and fight the Manticore, provided you then pledge to help us fight an even fiercer...
Of course, my lady. Yet what manner of horror is it?
Were it only. 'Tis a beast of 1,000 heads, covered in black art.
Noble lady. I know bestiaries only in parts, yet I've seen some of the world, and never have I...
You need but look about you, and spot...
Devastating. But you must forgive me, your grace. This struggle...
A Manticore. How great is its appetite? How many men does it fell?
It changes. At a time when the horror broods.
I see. As now you must. Nilfgaard in my capital could mean as many as 20,000. You live to fight evil, injustice, do you not? You can fight none greater than by doing...
The Manticore, your grace, must fall first. As to what happens later, I shall need to consult the good book and petition the god.
Agreed, so be it. This monster, where lies its lair?
To the north, my queen.
Worked in a mess once at serving no meat, not even sausage. Weren't long afore.
I see you found the mess tent. How's the ale? Not
'Tis not for me to say, Your Majesty. My tankard holds but milk of...
milk? A witless prank. I shall tell the quartermaster at once.
Unnecessary, Your Grace.
Is that so?
The good book states clearly, the shadow of spirits obscureth light most true, and leadeth thee from the path of virtue.
Right. I suppose there's something to it.
My soul sings to hear your affirmation, Your Grace. If ever you wish to discuss the good book and the wisdom...
Certainly, I shall remember. Your crusade against monsters.
Come next Bellatane, it will be 20 years, Your Grace. Though, there was one.
For what reason? Had you grown weary of the knight-errant's life?
Not in the least. Never shall I cease in my quest to cleanse the world of filth and abominations. But at times evil puts up rather a good... I ventured forth to slay a dragon once. A gold one, as it were. Calling itself Villa Tretormeft, or the like. Its very name, as is evident, a vile toil for the tongue, and wafting a great many mercenaries embarked on the hunt, lured by the promise of coin in heaps. The Crinford Reavers, Yarpen Zigrin, and a band of dwarves. Even, curse the word, a witcher. One Yennefer, the most lecherous sorceress, at his side.
That name I've heard.
But at the deciding moment, when the beast challenged all, I alone emerged to face it. Alas, though shame burns me to admit it, I returned from the battle upon my shield, figuratively, literally. For 2 years, I lay in the Temple of Melitele in Alanda. Mother Neneke, God's protector, nursing me back to full health. And only when I could once more grip my sword did I return.
And the dragon?
Some claim it flew off to Zerrikania, though it very well might yet lurk here, awaiting the opportune moment to terrorize the folk of the north again.
Farewell, Ake.
Not a scrap. Not a scrap. Nothing to bury. Blood's all that's left behind.
'Tis in these ravines. The beast is near. I sense it.
At the furthest depth of the winding, gloomy canyon, scouts found the maw of a great cavern. Among the boulders outside it, whitening bones lay strewn. Ake dismounted and drew his blade.
By the god's grace, we've found the beast's lair,
he said, lifting his gaze to the heavens.
We need them but to extend their favor as we...
Meve cast a critical eye at her shield. Wood clad in leather and thin plate. Enough to stop a sword, certainly, but would it protect her from a beast's raging blow? Noticing her hesitation, Reynard approached the Queen and said,
Your Grace, none will utter a disparaging word should you step back.
But they will think them,
replied Meve.
and that's bad enough. The war has begun. I can't appear weak to my fighting men.
Without awaiting an answer, Meve strode into the cave. The rest of the company followed, equally full of fear and faith in their queen and commander. Moment.
And I beheld the beast! Profane horns didst adorn his wicked brow!
God's protectors.
Armies.
Beware its claws! The hardest plate they shred like fine vellum!
Our ballista, your command.
Left, right, left, right.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Again and again and again.
Beware! Its tail flows with deadly venom!
Aye.
We must trust each other.
Ugh. Lyrian lummoxes.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
I'm a world, sir.
Keep that vile poison to yourself!
Can't take it anymore.
For Rivia!
A knight should help. Our codex commands it. And I beheld the beast! Profane horns didst adorn his wicked brow!
God's protectors.
Beware its claws! The hardest plate they shred like fine vellum!
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
One man's battlefield is another man's right.
Beware! Its tail flows with deadly venom!
Again and again and again.
Should have listened to me old lady.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Can't take it anymore.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Can't take it anymore.
Tell me you jest.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Prepare to fight, if you've any honor.
We must thank the gods for this victory both great and just.
With Ache at their side, the Lyrians fell the Manticore. Later, it was said the beast's dying wail, multiplied and strengthened as it passed through the caverns, could be heard as far as...
Your Grace, many monarchs have I met in my time, yet none proved as virile in battle as did...
Virile? I dislike the term. Seems not to suit a woman. I prefer valiant. Yet grateful I am. Now pray reveal, have you made your decision? Will you swear to serve me? Are you prepared?
I am not, Your Grace. Yet, I do believe them to be on your side as one unjustly and treacherously attacked. Thus I see nothing...
Then I am content and welcome you in my rank.
The knight-errant bowed low from the waist. So low, in fact, the gambeson neath his mail creaked. Meve could only hope he would battle Nilfgaardians at...
A whole village. Just one big grave now.
Good lady. Something's wrong at Abbott's Ravine. I heard whinnies and screams at first.
ugly like a war fire.
One bolt. Give me a target.
Company! Forward march!
Well? The worm, just as I said. Now who's addled in the head, eh? Well? The worm!
One of them golden sons belongs on the side of my own ship.